General Hospital MV, my GH After show. It was an exciting week in Port Charles, so let's get into it, starting with something that I thought I would never see on the show. Sonny Corinthos and Robert Scorpio working together? Now on paper that definitely falls under the category of WTF, but I kind of liked it. Their dynamic was actually pretty fun to watch. I mean, we didn't see them rescue Dante yet, but we've seen everything from Sonny playing card games, to a shootout with Robert and Sonny, taking down some bad guys, to a psychic that actually turned out to work for the WSB, and wild shenanigans on all their parts. It was very entertaining to watch. Side note, does anyone else like the way that Robert says Dante? I love it. I have to say, as weird as it is to see Sonny and Robert working together, this is the most excited I've been to watch Robert on screen in ages. His last several appearances on the show have been kind of boring, not gonna lie. And now that he's away from like Anna and Finn, I'm really enjoying this character. It's like classic Robert Scorpio on my screen with the weird fact that he's working with a mobster. But I can let go of that because it's kind of working out well for Robert. I don't know exactly how I feel about this new WSB chick, but I do know that she's acting a lot more like Anna than Anna is currently, so, you know, she's alright I guess. Moving on, now let's talk about Sam, Christina, Daisy, Shiloh, and this whole Dawn of Day mess. Now, Shiloh has pretty much demoted Daisy and promoted Christina as his new main bitch, and Daisy was devastated by this. She tries to get back into his good graces by going over to Sam's house to apologize to what she did to Sam a few months back. Sam forgave her, but couldn't help but notice the tramp stamp on Daisy's back. Now, I read somewhere that the tramp stamp on her back is similar to a tramp stamp on a different show that had to do with sex trafficking. And if that is the case, then Christina is in a lot more trouble than I actually thought. Now let's say that this theory actually pans out and that Dawn of Day is a cover for a sex trafficking ring. I feel like anyone that would discover this would be out of Dawn of Day so fast and would out Shiloh. And the fact that they're not means that Shiloh is probably a lot more threatening than the show portrays him as. And they already portray him as pretty threatening, even though we don't really know how he threatens people and, you know, how he's getting everyone's loyalty. Especially Daisy, because she is so devastated by this. But if it is a sex trafficking ring, she would, you know, be vulnerable, wouldn't she? I don't know. It's a weird blip. It's a bizarre theory to prove. And if that is the case, I'm curious to know how Shiloh is doing this. Do you guys have any theories on what Dawn of Day is actually about? Let me know in the comments below. Alright, now let's discuss Peter, Maxie, and Nina's daughter Sasha. Now, they pretty much let the storyline lay for the week, but at the end of it, we did see Maxie and Peter discussing the pros and cons on finding out whether Nina's daughter is actually Nina's daughter or not. And at the end of their conversation and thinking things through, Maxie just straight up yanks the hair out of Sasha while she's on a makeshift date with Michael Corinthos that Nina set up herself and puts it in her purse. But unfortunately, Valentine's seen that, so obviously this isn't going to go anywhere. They're going to prolong this for a long ass time. By the way, what do we think of Michael and Sasha? I mean, it makes sense, but to be honest, for me personally, Michael is as boring as watching paint dry. I can count on one hand how many times I've been interested in Michael in the last few years. One, when he tried to take down his father Sonny for killing his other father AJ, and two, when Michael was going after Nell, like no holds bar. When Michael is badass, the story is good. When Michael is Michael, then the story is like snooze fest. Let me know what you guys think of Michael and Sasha in the comments below as well. Alright ladies and gentlemen, buckle down, hang on tight because it's time to talk about the meat and potatoes of this week's show. All things Ryan Chamberlain. Now Laura was in the Ferncliff basement with Kevin and she manages to escape out of a tunnel that a previous psycho managed to escape out of years ago. The only thing that confused me is that this tunnel didn't lead outside Ferncliff, but it somehow led into the main corridor of Ferncliff? What? I'm so confused, but anyway, I'll let bygones be bygones. The point is, Laura managed to make her way to the hospital and tell everyone that Ryan Chamberlain is alive. He is the killer. He's been impersonating Kevin this whole time. That Kevin was in Ferncliff this whole time. The truth is finally out. Thank goodness. Jordan actually woke up to learn that her plan actually worked. So score 1 for the PCPD. The only thing is she felt pretty bad because Franco was stabbed. But you know, it's a minor blip. I mean, I don't really care that Franco was stabbed. And the fact that it got the killer out there, I'm sure even Franco doesn't mind that he was stabbed at all either. So, you know, Finally, good one for the PCPD. It only took since, what, the 80s to get something right? Okay, moving on. Now, Sonny and Robert weren't the only bizarre duo that we've seen this week. We also got to see Laura working with Jason, because Jason found out that Ava and Ryan were going to Niagara Falls to get hitched, and Laura tagged along for the ride. Weird, but I kinda didn't mind it either, I guess. Whatever, got both of them there. Now let's not forget that the teenage crew is actually also in Niagara Falls too. They had to stay at a hotel because their car broke down, and it led to some pretty sweet scenes between Jocelyn and Oscar, as well as Cameron and Trina. I don't know if Oscar and Jocelyn had sex. I wasn't paying too much attention, but it might have gone there, it might have not, because Oscar also had a seizure and ended up in the hospital. I just don't know if that happened before or after. Was anyone surprised that Oscar had a seizure in Niagara Falls? Yeah, me neither. Now, when all this drama was going down, Cameron actually did run into Ryan Chamberlain at the hotel, but he just wanted to get away, and so did Cameron because, well, his friend was in danger. So he goes to the hospital and gets a call from his mom where he learns that Franco is not the killer, but Ryan Chamberlain is, and he realizes the shocking fact that he ran into Ryan at the hotel. So of course Liz is able to tell the police exactly Ryan's whereabouts, as well as Laura and Jason. So that's how Laura and Jason got to the hotel where Ryan and Ava were staying. But wait, I'm forgetting something. What happened to Carly? Well, we were right. She ended up in the trunk of Ryan's car, and it took Ava forever to find her in there. But she did, and Ava's conclusion was that Kevin was having a breakdown. Which, I mean, isn't, you know, that far of a stretch. Laura did warn her that Kevin had a breakdown before, and she just assumed that this is what was going on again, so she tried to play it cool, but she needed several drinks, and who could blame her, honestly? Now, Ryan decided to drive Carly about 5 miles away from the hotel and plopped her at the bottom of some bridge that looked exactly like the bridge where Sam had Scout and caught that cat pee disease. GH, recycle your sets better. Even the bridge where Ryan and Ava were standing was the same exact footbridge we've seen in Port Charles dozens of times before, completely unchanged. Your viewers aren't blind, and obviously you have money for new sets because Sonny and Robert had some pretty good sets in their scenes. Why are we utilizing these sets and not changing anything about them at all? Aye. Anyway, that bridge that Ava and Ryan were going across is apparently a bridge that leads from the American border to the Canadian border, completely unnoticed. As a Canadian, I can confirm that there is no such footbridge that makes it that easy to cross the border of Canada. It doesn't happen, guys. Oi, America. But yeah, that bridge is where Jason and Laura caught up to them, and Jason didn't waste any time shooting Ryan in the arm. Now, of course, Ava was defending Ryan, saying that he is not well, he's having a breakdown, he needs help. But Laura's like, no, that is Ryan Chamberlain. Kevin is back in Port Charles. You need to get away from him now. I truly do not understand why Laura didn't go to Ava and say, he is the killer. He killed Kiki. Because in the next moment, Ryan decides to kiss Ava and throw them both over the bridge. Oof. It made me so mad. Like, please do not deprive us of Ava taking Ryan down. I mean, we have been wanting this for a long time because it would be nothing short of epic, but I feel like Ryan is going to go over that bridge and fall and disappear and no one's going to find his body. Jason's probably going to hang on to Ava. I mean, this isn't the first time she's fallen off that same bridge that was not in Port Charles or Niagara Falls at one point in a story a long time ago. I think it was when she escaped prison. You'll have to check that, I'm sorry. But it's happened before. Ava's dangled off a bridge before, and the last time she did, Sonny tried to save her. I think Jason will probably succeed this time, because he's Jason. And that brings us to the end of this crazy week in Port Charles. You guys, I loved it. It was exciting to watch. The only thing I question is why this didn't happen a month ago during February sweeps. That's when things are supposed to be exciting. Why did we have to stretch it out a month to get to this point? The only other thing I didn't like is that Mac and Felicia once again were excluded from this exciting week when they should have been front and center with the rest of the gang. Also, where is Griffin? I mean, he should really be a part of the storyline as well, no? I really hope that this upcoming week is just as exciting and utilizes all the characters that should be a part of the story. And I really don't want Ryan to just disappear into the night, never to be seen or heard from for another few months, and, you know, comes back to haunt us again. I mean, I want this storyline to have a proper ending. It's been so long since stories have had a proper beginning, middle, and end on the show. I mean, we kind of got it with Nell, but even she's still kind of lurking in the background every now and then. So, you know, do something right, guys. We're nearly there. But anyway, what did you guys think of this week? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. And I will catch you guys next week. Bye.